If you're a fan of Nicholas Alexander Benson, you already know his art and his dreams are totally intertwined. But what does that process actually look like on a daily basis? Well, today we're getting an inside look. We're going to pull back the curtain on a single day in his life, September 30th, 2025 to be exact, and see just how a dream becomes reality. So, let's dive in.
You see, for Nicholas, the creative engine doesn't wait for the sun to come up or for coffee to be brewed. Nope, it all kicks off in the wild world of lucid dreams. That's where the seeds of inspiration are planted for the day's biggest projects. It's where our story really begins.
And on this particular day, man, what a beginning it was. The inspiration came from this incredibly vivid, action-packed lucid dream. Basically, a full-on cosmic dogfight that pretty much set the creative tone for the entire day.
Okay, so to really get what's happening in his dreams, you gotta understand the playground he's in. He calls it the storyverse. Just imagine a multiverse where every single story idea, every possibility, exists as its own little bubble universe. It's pretty much the ultimate creative sandbox, especially for a lucid dreamer. Now, the players in this dream, they're part of this whole ongoing saga. On one side, you've got his ghostly UFO companion, Leon. And on the other, it's Nemesis, the super menacing Red Phantom. This isn't some new fight. It's the next chapter in their story. So the Red Phantom comes in hot, firing these ectoblasts. Nicholas, he throws up a defensive spell, Aegis, right, to protect Leon. But here's where it gets really cool. They don't just sit there and take it. Leon actually uses that shield as a battering ram, flipping a defensive move into the winning offensive blow. Just a brilliant strategic move.
And this wasn't just some random weird dream. He uses this AI tool he calls a Dreamcast to kind of unpack his dreams. And it turns out this whole battle was his subconscious directly responding to a loss from a previous dream. The whole point was about learning, adapting, and finally figuring out how to win. Pretty amazing.
All right, so he wakes up, buzzing from this awesome dream victory. Now what? Well, this is where the magic really happens, where we move from the dream world to the real world and see how it all becomes tangible art.
And he wastes no time. Look at this. You can see it right here. He takes a single frame from what he calls his dream anime, and it becomes the direct blueprint, almost a perfect copy, for a panel in his dream comic. It's a straight-up, one-to-one translation of the action he just lived through in his sleep. But it doesn't stop there. Not even close. This one single dream spawned a whole bunch of creative projects. Reference art, the comic strip, the anime episode, that AI analysis we mentioned, a song, and he even updated the wiki page. It's just an incredible display of dedication to capturing every single angle of his inner world. He even set the story to music. Check out a couple of lines from the dream tune he wrote that day. It totally captures that epic space battle vibe. Cosmic clash, a crimson flash across the void so vast. In this storyverse saga, we're built to last. It's just another amazing layer of expression.
So, all that dream stuff, that was just the warm-up. The main event for the day, the big project, was actually developing and publishing a brand new, totally original comic.
And here it is, Mother Unnatural. And get this for a story hook. In a world ruined by alien sludge, a lone agent has to restore Earth's ecosystem. The only problem? Her power creates unpredictable, new alien life. The real story kicks in when she creates an intelligent humanoid and has to face the terrifying nature of her duty.
So the comic sets the stage, right? Earth's plant life is wiped out by this alien sludge, and it's caused total chaos. Her job is to use this wild power of hers to pump life energy back into the ground and grow new things to save the planet. But here's the twist, the central conflict. Her power doesn't just make plants. It creates this humanoid being, a creature that's intelligent, powerful, and maybe, just maybe, a threat to humanity's survival. She doesn't give it a chance. She just eliminates it, believing it's the only way. And that brings us to the absolute heart of her struggle, summed up in this one gut punch of a line. She sees herself as a creator, a mother of these new monsters, but also as a monster herself for destroying what she creates. It's such a heavy, powerful dilemma.
You know, being a creator isn't just about locking yourself away and making stuff. It's also about sharing that work and connecting with the people who follow it. And that was a big part of his day too. Later on, this really awesome moment happens. A fan pops up in the comments, and after a second, Nicholas realizes who it is. The scavenger,
a regular from his old RPG and freestyle rap live streams. It's this super heartwarming reunion that just goes to show you the kind of community he's built over the years.
And the good vibes just kept rolling in. A simple but really encouraging "so cool" on his new animation, and even a reaction from another creator on one of his older comics. You know, it's these little moments that really strengthen that bond between an artist and their audience.
So, after a long, packed day of dreaming, creating, and connecting, how did Nicholas himself sum it all up? Let's take a look at his own reflection, his personal highlights for the day.
He jotted down 3 main highlights. First, that win against the Red Phantom in his dream, which, kicked off this whole creative snowball. Second, he got out and walked some charity miles for Feeding America, which is awesome. And third, getting Mother Unnatural published and out into the world. From dream to creation to real-world impact, that's a pretty perfect summary.
And that brings us to the end of our deep dive. Seeing a day like this, where the subconscious so directly fuels what gets made, it really makes you think, doesn't it? It leaves us with one final question for you to chew on. If you could tap into your dreams like that, what would you create?